Hello, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm here.
I
Oh,
think I'm having, I was having some technical issues. Even the tech person has some technical issues.
okay.
Um,
Can you hear
and
me?
I can hear you just fine. I can see you
Okay,
just fine.
fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Wonderful.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm not sure how to share my screen, but my nephew did put it up here for me. Can you see that? Those are the
Uh,
slides.
no, but you know what? I can walk you through it. If your slides are up, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you have your PowerPoint up?
Okay, wait. Well, let me just do one thing he told me to do. Hold on. Wait, view, present. Is that it? Now can you see it?
Nope, but this is what you do. No, you're just fine. Don't worry. You're the fact that you're in here is a blessing. So we are going to. You have your slides up. That's great. All you do is on your screen. It
Yeah.
should say share.
Okay. Okay. Let me
So
get
it's
out of here.
okay.
Um,
Right on the bottom, there's a slash mark through a TV screen right on the bottom of your. Do you see
is
that
that
or?
it? Now let's explore. I'm using somebody else. See, he had left me. And this is why I said don't. Oh, okay. I see it here. It says share.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then you would pick out your slides.
wait, it's because it's coming out with three different things. Share with people in groups. It says my name, me, get the link.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
It's okay. No, it's fine. So do you see both? Are you on Hopin right now?
Yeah, I'm in whatever he set me up so I don't have to do anything.
Okay. And do you see my hands, like me waving?
Let me go back to that screen. Okay, I could see you here.
Okay, great. So on the bottom of the screen, it says there's a screen with a slash mark under it, like a red mark through
Yeah,
it.
that. Okay.
So you click on, and it should say share, and then you would go to your window,
Okay, because the
and then
share is not okay. Share with audio. Yeah, it's not allowing me that option. Choose what to share. My window.
right,
It's a
and then you
window.
go.
Yeah, there it is. This one. Is that it? And
Yes.
then share.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you would share your screen. Please just cancel. Perfect. And then so you would go to present mode. Yep.
All right. So hold on. Oops. Oh, gee whiz. Okay. I know.
No, you found it. That's great. So I saw the PowerPoint presentation. You just have to remember to put it in presentation mode.
All right. So how do I get out of what I am in right now?
Okay, just press escape.
Okay. Escape. Okay. Escape again. It does seem like it's doing what I. No.
Okay, and I still see you, so that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Okay, you see me? I'm right here.
Okay, then window, right?
Yep, the window with the X through it at the very bottom.
Okay. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, view, present.
Yep.
Can you see it now?
Not yet. So you have to go back to the
Oh,
Hopin screen. No, you're fine. Don't. We have time. This is fine. So if you go back to where you see me, I'm waving.
okay.
Okay,
So
and
it's this
then
one.
yep, and then you
Yeah.
press the button that says yep with the X through it. Oh,
Oh my
perfect.
God, what just happened?
Well, this is very interesting. It's okay. Don't worry. So we'll go to where is your presentation? So
All right.
just stop sharing again.
He has it open in two different windows for me. So,
So you
all
close
I
up.
needed to do was just go to the window. That's the way he left it for me. So I don't have to push buttons. I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I
All
think I
right.
have
So
to.
okay, I'm looking at this. Okay,
Let's see
so
if I leave. Oh, no, I don't want to leave. Okay, hit cancel. Why is this 3?
okay, that's just that's they're showing who's in the session. So people are kind of filtering in and out.
I don't know how we got all of this. I don't see it's not good for me to press buttons. It's not what I do. Just things have to be
It's
set up for
okay.
me, and that's it.
Teresa's a prolific commercial agent. She had a tech person, and the tech person basically has said, I'm gone for the day, so we're gonna we're gonna work through it, and all you have to do is just stop sharing.
Okay, so now
And
how do I do that?
okay, so if you go back to
Can I hit
if you
escape?
hit escape. Still, is it still sharing? Okay, so let me
Still
try to.
sharing.
There we
Okay,
go.
here we are. All
Okay,
right,
good.
so there we are.
All right.
Now,
So, mhm.
now
So,
where am I? I'm
okay, so we'll start from scratch. We'll just look
start
at
from
the
scratch.
okay, at the bottom of your screen. So you're in the session, and you see the
Okay.
camera, the mic, a YouTube button, and then there should be a present. So like a screen and
A
then a
TV
slash.
with a what next? Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking that out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And so if you have your PowerPoint presentation, what I
To
would
click
do
on
is
it because in a separate thing altogether. There it.
right,
I can see it. I'm not sure what you can see, but let me see if I go into view
right,
and then to present.
right,
Again, I can see it fully, but I guess you can't see it.
right. And so what you would do is it's just fine.
Oh,
Don't worry.
here, with this share.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's coming up with the different groups and everything. It's not like the button that you told me.
The button. Okay. So are you on a Mac or just a regular PC?
I'm on a regular PC.
Okay. So what I'll need you to do is actually go to PowerPoint
Okay.
and okay, no, it's just fine. And then after PowerPoint, you would up in the search section of PowerPoint, just put reading view.
Okay. Have the window.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
huh. Oh,
okay,
is
so
this it? Is this it? Let me see. Is that it? Can you see
yeah,
it?
I see it. Okay, so you can save
Is
that
this
and
it?
then
So
yeah,
now I can go into view, right? Present.
yes.
Is that
A
okay? Is that
perfect.
it?
That's it.
Okay, fantastic.
It's fine. You know what? Yeah, it is fine. You are there, and we are ready to receive what the blessing that you're going to give us in terms of commercial real estate, which is difficult. It's much more difficult than a PowerPoint or Hopin. So
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna sit back and I'm going to introduce you and let you go ahead and give us the knowledge that you have. Um, uh, we are certainly very thankful to receive it. So this is Miss Teresa Belmore, and she is a commercial agent, a commercial broker in the and also, I will say, an HCAR board of directors. She sits on that as well. She's on many committees, does many things, is extremely busy, and has taken out time to give us some information here. So without further ado, buying back the block, commercial real estate reinvestment, Ms. Teresa Belmore.
Oh, thank you so much for that introduction. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for the delays. I am not tech savvy. But I will do the best that I can. I don't know how many people are on currently at the moment, but as Maisha has said, my name is Teresa Belmore. I'm a commercial broker with Keller Williams NY Realty in Westchester County. I'm also a member of the board of directors for NYSAR, which is the New York State Association of Realtors, as well as my local association, which is the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors in Westchester County. I am pleased to be here this afternoon. I hope everyone has been enjoying all of the sessions. And how I like to do this format, because I know that we have limited time, and commercial is such a very broad area and has a lot of complex information, and I don't want to overwhelm anyone. I want to make it as simplistic as I possibly can. I like to have a lot of Q&A if that's possible. So I'm just going to run through a couple of commercial basics, and then I like to turn it over to the audience to ask me any questions that they feel free in regards to commercial real estate. Is that okay? I hope so.
Perfect plan.
Is that anybody on? Again, I can't see, I can only see my presentation, but what I like to do whenever I'm giving a presentation is I don't know how many people, especially definitely on the weekends, you visit hair salons or barbershops or the supermarket, or you live in an apartment building. Any one of those things are investment properties, and they are commercial properties. And I like to always ask the question, what is commercial real estate? Commercial real estate is anything that is not residential. They would be like your office buildings, your retail stores, industrial buildings, multifamily and apartment units, uh, multifamily and apartment units, or anything more than 5 units is considered commercial real estate. Basically, commerce, which is included in the word commercial, is anywhere where business will be conducted is considered commercial real estate. And I like to use those simplistic areas that I started out with, like if you visit a hair salon or nail salon or barber shop, those are all commercial real estate buildings. In commercial real estate, as let's say if you're in an apartment building and you rent, there are different type of leases affiliated with commercial real estate. There's a triple net lease, which is typical. That's usually associated with retail and single tenant properties. It includes everything from your property taxes, your maintenance, your building insurance, and the tenants pay a prorated share. Then there's your full service gross lease. Those are usually associated with office buildings. And it's a modified gross lease, which is like a combination of a triple net and a full net lease. Some overviews of commercial real estate basics and some terminologies. Your net operating income, your cash on cash reserves, cap rate, everything that's listed here. For example, I'm going to take out cap rate. Cap rate is your net operating income divided by your purchase price. So if you purchase a property for, let's say, simplistic terms, $100,000, you would determine your net operating income would give you the cap rate from there. So you would have an idea of what's your return on an investment. Something else to consider is the building asset class. Asset classes can consist of multifamily units, like I said, office, industrial, retail, your hotels, land, and any mixed use. Mixed use commercial buildings are, let's say you have apartment buildings on top, and then you have retail stores on the bottom. Typically in a lot of low income areas, you have the apartment buildings, apartment units on the top of the commercial building, and then the mixed use would be like your bodega, your liquor stores, or dry cleaners, to that extent. And these are the different type of classifications for commercial real estate. Class A, just like in the alphabet, will be the highest quality buildings in the market, and they're generally newer type buildings and have high income earning tenants. Class B is a step down. They're generally older, buildings. They have low income tenants, and they may or may not be professionally managed. Class C properties are typically more than 20 years old, and they're located in like less desirable areas, maybe your low income areas to that effect, or, areas that, like I said, have units that are much, much older than, let's say, a Class A property. Most people I would say to most people, especially if you're beginning your investment portfolio, why are you not the landlord? I mean, typically people will pay their mortgage or they'll pay their rent, and you don't get a return on investment like that. The only way to do that is to diversify your portfolio or your investment portfolio. And there are some beginning basics, and the whole purpose of that, to diversify your commercial real estate portfolio, is to have some passive income. Meaning, let's say you go ahead and you buy 5 or 6 units in an apartment building. You basically, will go ahead, hire a manager to manage the property for you, and you sit at home and you collect mailbox money, like I say, while you sleep. You can also leverage those type of properties. There's also an appreciation on those properties. Typically, they're anywhere from 3 to, let's say, 5% annually. As you buy buildings and apartment units or multifamily units, they depreciate over time, and you can utilize a tax write-off in order to go ahead and add to your investment portfolio. There's also the neighborhood impact. The more that you come in and you renovate units, it affects the neighborhood, and hopefully in a more positive direction than and or negative. And then you also need an A team in order to help you achieve your investment objectives, just like you would do in residential. Residential, you would typically get a real estate agent or a broker. Broker would help you identify the properties. You would have an attorney that handles the closing. You would have, let's say, a contractor to go ahead and do any kind of renovations for you. And or, you would have a bank, obviously, that will loan you a big chunk of the money to go ahead and purchase the property. Commercial is, a little bit different. You have a broker, you have a commercial attorney that specializes in commercial real estate. You have a contractor and or an architect, a commercial lender, and you definitely need an accountant or a CPA. This will help you, especially, if your portfolio for an investment property depreciates, to determine that depreciation and or appreciation in value for your properties that you've invested in. Typically, where a lot of the opportunities lie right now in commercial real estate, especially during the pandemic, it took a huge, huge hit. As the article says, with the economy and the businesses were hobbled by the pandemic, commercial real estate transactions were struggling readily. But now that they're starting to rebound and things are starting to open up a bit, the best bang for your buck in terms of where the opportunity lies in commercial real estate would be industrial. Anything warehouse, think Amazon, think the cannabis business, because they need large distribution centers and facilities in order to operate. Small malls, mini strip malls, and shopping centers that are being converted or being repositioned into other types of commercial business. Those are where the opportunities are lying currently in this 2021 market. If you take a look at the screen, this will give you a general idea in terms of the different areas from, like, let's say New York City to Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Dallas, Texas, Chicago. This will give you an overview of what the market is expanding and how the market has changed in commercial real estate in these sectors and in these areas. Does anybody have any questions thus far? Maisha? No?
Yes, hi. No. Actually, we have quite a few questions. I was trying to wait for a break, but all right.
Okay. I'll take some questions right now because we don't have that many slides left.
Okay.
And so I want to be able to go ahead and take some slides because I don't want to, like I said, bombard people with a whole lot of information. I want to try to make it as simplistic as I possibly can.
Well, commercial is very difficult, and you definitely did provide. Now, are the slides, will they be available for people if they request them?
Absolutely. I can send this to you, and then you can, we can work that out as to how, people can get the presentation, and I can always send out information to them, or they can give me their email address if they want to, and I'd be happy to go ahead and give them a copy of the presentation.
Amen. We will forward that to you. And it says also, how can churches invest in commercial businesses? And also in the chat, so there's a question in the QA and in the chat that's similar. How can my church invest in commercial property?
That's a very, very good question. Churches typically have a good relationship with the community leaders and local politicians. And, politicians are in the business of making sure that the community is well served. And so in saying that, they also have access to, especially, in major cities like New York City and here in Westchester County, they have access to a whole list of property, like, let's say, opportunity zones. I know that that's a big buzzword with many people, and especially like here in New York, I think in Baltimore, Maryland, out in Detroit, and several other different markets. And the purpose of an opportunity zone is to spur economic growth and job creation in low-income communities while providing tax benefits to investors. Church groups can absolutely take advantage of that because that's a tier system. with an opportunity zone, meaning that, for example, if a church invested a certain amount of money, they have a deferment of gains. So by investing those gains in an opportunity zone, they can take advantage of that and defer the taxes on that investment all the way to, I think the end date is December 31st of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. Like, let's say, for example, if an investor, or let's say a church group holds the investment for 5 years. Let's say the amount is, I don't know, 200,000. The payment of 200,000 is completely deferred. Plus the investor gets a 10% step up basis on the original gain deferred. So now the investor only pays taxes on $180,000, saving $20,000, because, you know, from 200,000 and a 20% savings, well, you will only have to pay taxes on $180,000. If the that's for 5 years. If the investor holds the investment for 7 years, that's another step up basis, meaning that you get an additional 5% and you save on capital gains. If you hold it for more than 10 years, you pay 0 capital gains tax on the appreciation. So it's like a tier system on how long, you know, let's say a church group or an investor can go ahead and defer the taxes on a property. So that is an absolute definite opportunity for church groups to get involved with. Seek out opportunity zones, because you can defer the taxes. And typically, you know, most church groups, they also have that, what is it, 503c status, I believe, or something to that effect. They can take advantage, and I'm not exactly sure because I'm not a tax accountant, but they should definitely take advantage of that, because that's not only good for the church, it's excellent for the community. And it's an excellent vehicle for an investment. So I'm glad people asked that question.
Yeah, you know, this is a group to ask it to, I guess. And do we have time for one more question, or do you want me to hold that off until the end?
One more question. Let's go.
Okay. The next question is, what about retail? Is that even still a good investment? Well, you know, they're people are a little bit
iffy about that.
Because
retail has absolutely positively taken a hit. But look, at the end of the day, we're always going to need a supermarket, right? We're always going to need nail salons, some place to get your hair done, some place to get your nails done. So those are the main simplistic things I can say that are always going to stay in business one way or another. Your boutique stores, like let's say the Gap or big market box stores like TJ Maxx and stuff like that, not so much, because they are already trying to, you know, they've already hurt during this pandemic, and they're selling off a lot of their retail spaces. But what's important now, and I know that this has been in the news on a lot, especially with the young crowd, pop-up stores. Pop-up stores are retail businesses, but you don't have to be married to a long-term lease. And you don't have to take on all the expenses that you would in a typical commercial lease situation. So that's also something to consider.
Good advice. That's great advice. I was wondering, I guess, about that too. But and it also matters, I guess, like you said, the class of retail.
Right.
So you know, a class A versus class C.
Right.
Class C probably is not going to do some, you know. I'm thinking of dead malls. I put my own question up in there because I was so curious about that. We have quite a few here, and if you're outside of these dense city, urban centers where they have the Class A, they might be okay. But you get up toward Poughkeepsie,
But you have to understand that market and what the needs of that market are. Like, let's say the market here in Westchester County is going to be completely different than the market, let's say, in Poughkeepsie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to really understand the needs of that community, as well as where they are currently in that particular segment of that market.
All right. Amen. That's why you need a commercial agent right here. We need a commercial broker.
Well, you need a commercial broker anyway to know how to locate these deals. Unlike residential, commercial properties sometimes are not advertised readily. And that's because you have a pool of commercial investors that don't want to necessarily tell the world, hey, listen, like it's not like a single family residence, you know what I'm saying, where you have multiple bidding situations. It's the complete opposite. They may be unleashing or selling off a lot of a big portfolio, and they don't want to advertise that to the world.
Amen. Okay,
Right.
so there's a few more, but I'm going to let you finish your
Yeah,
presentation.
I'm gonna continue on, and then I'll finish up, and then we can go back to the Q&A. Like I said, when I was discussing the opportunity zones, it's a basic formula when you're purchasing commercial properties. You're buying back the block, so to speak, in those opportunity zones because you're creating opportunity of investment wealth or generational wealth. You know what I mean? On a very limited budget. And that's the simplest way to get involved in commercial real estate. But these are the basic formulas: you buy, you rehab, you rent, you refinance, and then you repeat. It's with residential, I think it's a little bit more. You have a lot more tools in which to use from, and a lot more creativity. Commercial is pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. I think I went the wrong way. And these are some of the 3 opportunities that are available currently right now that I think for commercial real estate. The malls and small shopping centers, which are going to once again be repositioned and converted into industrial properties. Again, think Amazon. Think big industrial type. They need distribution centers. So because those shopping malls sit on large acres of property, they need to be repositioned or restructured into something else. Hotels right now are suffering, especially over these last 2 years in the pandemic. Those are now being converted into multifamily properties. That's another opportunity to take advantage of. And then think property technology solutions. Airbnb skyrocketed through the roof. And you just have your everyday Jane and John taking advantage of these opportunities in order to create generational wealth for themselves. Oh, I'm keep on going the wrong way. Here's some of the benefits of investing in commercial real estate. Obviously, this massive acceleration in struggling retail spaces, again, pop-up shops or repositioning or rethinking retail spaces. Technology is at the forefront. You no longer need to do everything by, foot traffic, so to speak. Everything can be done now over the computer, especially over these last 2 years during the pandemic. If Zoom hasn't taught us that, I don't know what will, but there's just a new way of conducting business. Again, here's another one. Land site is a prime and very optimum position in commercial real estate. Think, like I said, again, distribution centers, something like Amazon. And then there's also a huge shift to doing business as I've said over these last 2 years, to moving business online. There's going to be a commercial real estate summit. They hold it every year, and it's going to be held here in New York City. I believe it's at the Marriott Marquis. And it's going to be like the expose for all of the huge real estate associations to be in one centralized location. And it's an opportunity for folks to get into network, to learn, to gain knowledge, and to find real estate deals and opportunity. And I believe this is coming up on September 25th and 26th, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have the slide. And the keynote speaker at this expo would be A-Rod. I know a lot of the members of the audience are familiarized with A-Rod. He's a retired Major League Baseball player. He also has a huge investment from real estate. When they play in sports, these sports guys, they're only play for a limited time span. And so their monies have to last. So they look as other areas to go ahead and diversify their portfolio. And what better way to do that than through commercial real estate? Commercial real estate has a much more huger impact than residential. Residential real estate, you tend to buy maybe one or two properties at a time. But commercial, like I said in the very beginning, is anything that it's five or more, five or more units. And that's how you can build upon your investment opportunities. Yeah, I think what I have here, these are some of the resources that your audience can use in order to get information for commercial real estate and maybe to make some kind of connections.
Awesome.
And this one here, like I said, is also in order to register for that event, they can go to the globalrealestatesummit.com, or I think that there's the alternative one. It's excuse me for it's global. Oh, it's c5summit.realestate, and you can register as well. But under the Global Real Estate Summit, there's early bird pricing, like the screen says, until September 20th. So this is like a one-shop stop where you'll meet all of the commercial brokers and realtors throughout the world. They all converge on this particular summit, and it's a huge opportunity, like I said, to connect, to network, to seek out deals, especially for churches. This is optimum. This is like the optimum prime event to go to in order to make those different connections and to find out what's going on, so that they perhaps maybe you'll find an investor or a group of investors that will be willing to help you with your project or to even get you started. And this is my information for anybody who's interested. I can absolutely assist in any way I can, or advise or point you in the right direction. But as I said, I'm Teresa Belmore with Keller Williams NY Realty, and I'd be now happy to answer any questions.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Teresa. This was so much wonderful information. And on that global summit, I put the email that you had on the slide just in the chat for people who want to just copy it down. But is that for real estate professionals, or it can be for anybody?
It's open to everyone. You don't have to be in the real estate industry in order to take advantage of coming to this expo.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That was certainly wonderful. Okay, so audience members, shout out any churches out there who would like to get
there. I mean, if you got a big church group, if you're working on a project, if you're thinking that, you know what, we want to know how to get started or how to, make this investment, this is the optimum opportunity for you to converge on this expo, and you will be able to get your questions answered, make some connections, network, or perhaps find investors, because there'll be tons of investors there that can help maybe fund your project.
That's right. Funding's important too. So
it's absolutely important. You're not getting anywhere without any money.
Any money. Amen. Okay. So this is a question that says, let's see, I'm going to try to, because we answered some of these, but what if you already own a stake in hospitality? Should you be looking to reposition those properties?
Yes. Yes, because the commercial, I'd say that without hesitation, because the hospitality business has taken a huge hit over the last 2 years because of the pandemic. We're also dealing with, a variant that we don't know where this is going to go. This Delta variant, we have no idea if we're going to be shut down again or what's going to happen. So that's just an opportunity for whoever is in the hospitality business to diversify or reposition. Let's say if you own, let's say if you own 2 or 3 hotels, maybe convert some of those rooms into something else, or maybe do a certain portion into something else, because they can also convert a certain portion of their units into condos.
I've heard, I have heard of that. That was my question. I put it in the chat box too, but I put about underutilized retail and dead malls. I guess you can also apply that to hospitality, but can those be redeveloped into housing? I know you were talking about the industrial element, obviously on Amazon, but there's a need for housing and condos, and that's really big in terms of entry-level housing, actually, for particularly for millennials. So can you do that with those properties?
Absolutely, depending on the zoning. So you would have to check your local area, or go to your zoning board and find out. But again, it depends on the zoning. But condos are a lot more easy. I know that you're an excellent residential agent. Um, Condos are a
I'm
lot more.
learning.
Sorry,
I'm learning.
you're learning. Condos are a lot more, I think, easier to get into than, let's say, co-ops.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the co-op thing is huge
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
Westchester. I'm not
Hmm.
going to go into that. That's a whole nother topic, and we don't have Barry Kramer here, so that's an inside joke. So, in any case, it is 1:50. The session ends at 1:55. We have one more question. I don't know if it's too. It just says. Let's see. We went over that. Okay. What about the percentage of operating costs? I think I asked that one, but
What about the percent? I'm sorry. What about the percent?
of operating costs. So if you're running a commercial, what should you expect to pay? Say in terms of operating costs.
That again, that's a very blanket area, because it depends on the area that you're buying into, right? It's going to be different. Let's say if you bought something here in Westchester County versus the South Bronx.
Okay.
Am I kind of clear on that? So it's going to depend on the area. But typically overall, again, it depends on the asset. And when I mean asset, the type of property, whether it's an office building, whether it's a retail store, whether it's an industrial space, those factors have to be considered in order for me to give you a more detailed answer. But again, if you follow those basic formulas, typically, I think here I'm going to just stick with the New York City area. That's where cap rates come into play, based on what can you get for your rate of return if you invest your money, like let's say in an apartment building. Typically here in the New York City area, you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 6%. The further north you go, it might be a little bit more because there's more space.
Okay, let's see. That's this is opening up eyes right now. So I'm seeing this should be a longer conversation. But thank you so much for giving us the basics and answering questions from many people. I know they're going to utilize and hopefully can reach out to you, even if they are not necessarily in the New York City area. They might be from Jersey or etc. But if they could reach out and just for some information, because obviously you have that, and it's
I would be more than happy to help and point them in the right direction if I don't have the answers. But my resources are very, my tentacles are out there and they're very vast. And I would like I said, I just want to stress again that if anyone is interested, the best thing to do is to attend that global summit. That's is at the Marriott Marquis. I believe the dates, like I said, are on one of those screens. It's this month, matter of fact, September 25th, 26th, something to that extent. But the email, the website information is there, so they can always log on, sign in, any get all the information that they want. But that's like I said, it's a one-stop shop, and you'll be able to connect, network, and get answers and/or funding for your project.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Teresa. This is absolutely wonderful. Thank you for devoting your time. I know that you have a personal life, and we want to thank you for taking time out and actually giving us this education. It's available. Obviously, it's now recorded, so people can. And Brother Leroy, who is one of our organizers, said yes! Exclamation! So amen. So you have many eyes watching you. Even beyond this particular.
And Maisha, I will send this to you. I will send you this thing. So I don't know, because I would have to contact my nephew once again which button do I press? But at the end of the day, I think I can manage to at least send you this presentation.
Yes, tell nephew you did just fine as soon as you found the hop-in link, and you were good. And did this presentation. Tell him you did that.
I sure will. Well, I sure appreciate the invite, the opportunity to present, and I hope your audience got, learned something new today. And if not, listen, if you know somebody, reach out to me and I'll be happy to help.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Okay.
You,
And this
you
is
have
a you have a wonderful day as
you do the
well.
same.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.